Okay, so good morning, students, and welcome to the online class for these systems in mechanical engineering. Okay, so we have completed the two units, and I hope you understand the concepts from these two units. Okay, and some corrections are there some correction was there in the online test. So I added one that the respective marks for your the wrong questions here, whatever that questions are there. uh, okay, and I have also provided you the solutions also. Okay, so go through that solution. The questions are questions and these its solutions are given in that PDF. Okay, so main thing in unit number 1 and 2, you have to you have to concentrate on in unit number 1, that is on the numericals of the power plant. Okay, so that you have to concentrate, and in unit number 2, the numericals will be on the heat, that is the heat engine. Okay, then we have that heat pump. Okay, we have heat engine, then we have heat pump and refrigerator. Okay, so this is the first one, and then the second is on the heat transfer. Okay, so conduction, convection, and the radiation. Okay, so modes of heat transfer and the heat engines, heat pumps, and refrigeration. So this you have to consider. Definitely, they will the questions will be when numerical is there. The question will be for 2 marks. Okay, they will ask the questions for 2 marks. Okay, so the chances are there you will get maximum marks in this numerical. Okay, because the numericals are very easy. So just go for this one. Huh? Practice the numericals. I have already given you the notes. I have given you the solution also there. Okay, if you have any difficulty, just see the refer our video lecture that I have uploaded on the Google Classroom. Okay, do watch the video lectures, and uh, then solve the numericals. Okay, concentrated more on numericals. Okay, here these two topics from the unit number 1 and 2. Okay, so that diagrams you have to remember, block diagrams. Okay, now let us start with the today's topic. Today's topic, it deals with what the vehicles and their specification. Okay, so this is now pure mechanical topic now. So vehicles, and now here we onwards we don't have the numericals in unit number 3 and 4. Okay, so here this is total theoretical part now. So vehicles and their specification. Now what is meant by these vehicles and their specification? So whenever we decide to buy any vehicle, okay, so either it is two-wheeler, three-wheeler, okay, so or four-wheeler, okay, based on our requirement. So suppose we have decided to buy a car, a new car. So what we do, we generally, okay, nowadays we search it on the internet. Okay, the type of car, the different types of the car which has launched in the market. Okay, in the current year. Otherwise, we visit the showroom. You know, we visit the showroom, and then we see we check the car, we see the car there. But generally, whenever we go to purchase, when we go to the purchase the car, so generally, so what we'll see, we will just see the appearance of the car. Okay, so when you go to purchase the car there, okay, so what you generally see, so you just see how it looks like. Okay, so we don't see it specifications. Okay, we didn't see its specifications. Okay, we just see it looks. Okay, so how it looks from outside. So we concentrated more on its looks and not on its specifications. So that's why this specific unit they have added. Okay, and generally when we visit the showroom, so that marketing person, he provide us the one leaflet where all the details of that card is mentioned on that particular on their particular that leaflet. Okay, so we many times we didn't read what is given on that leaflet. Okay, so we mainly concentrate on what is the color of the car. Okay, then again mostly on the outside appearance. Okay, outside appearance of that particular car. So we mainly concentrate on that one only. Okay, but now whenever, suppose in future, when you decide to buy a car, okay, so read everything what is given on that particular leaflet. Okay, so that we call that as the specifications. Okay, and based on this these specifications, we can differentiate between the cars. Okay, so we can differentiate between the two cars. Okay, so this is one, two, something like this. Okay, so being the engineer, you have to see what is given on that particular leaflet and what is the meaning of that particular specifications. Okay, now we'll in today's lecture we'll see what is the meaning of the specifications that is mentioned on this particular leaflet. Okay, so that may be for two-wheeler. Okay, so that may be for two-wheeler you are going, or that may be for the four-wheelers. Okay, like this. Now let us start with first one. So what is the first specification? So that is the related with the engine. Okay, now you know that the engine is what? Engine is the heart of the car. Okay, so that you have to first see. Okay, so what is that? The engine is the heart of the engine. And what is the use of this engine? So this engine converts the power. It converts the power into motion. It converts the power into motion and produces the force that propels the vehicle into the motion. We have seen for the stroke of the piston. So suction, compression, okay, then the power, okay, and the exhaust. So we'll get this power stroke. Okay, so because of that power stroke, this is that power. So engine maybe it is it completes its four stroke, and during the power stroke, that power it is converted into what? Motion. Okay, and then that motion is useful to propel the vehicle. Okay, vehicle आपल्याला पुढे पुढे नेण्यासाठी आपल्याला रन करण्यासाठी to take the vehicle into the motion, we require what? Power. Power it is converted into what? It is converted into the motion. Okay. Now we have seen there are actually there are three types of the engine. One is petrol engine that runs on the gasoline. Gasoline means it is petrol. Another one is the diesel. Okay. The another is the here now they have mentioned as the electric. We have CNC also. Okay, CNC engine. Then we have hybrid. Hybrid means what? It is a combination of the two. That may be you have seen we are using petrol plus the CNG or diesel plus CNG. That means whenever you have the petrol, run it on the petrol. Otherwise, when petrol is not available, use it on the gas. So we call this as a hybrid. Hybrid means it is combination of the fuels. This means what? It is a combination of the fuel. Okay. Similarly, in electric also, electric vehicles are also available in the hybrid form, where we can run it on, suppose if petrol is available, so we can run it on the petrol. If petrol is not available, you run it on the batteries. So we call this type of engines as a hybrid engine. Okay. So hybrid engine means what? Which ones works on the dual fuel. Dual means it is two fuels. Okay. So one fuel, that means we are using one fuel for sometimes and another fuel for sometimes. So that is part of the hybrid fuel. Okay, or hybrid engine. Okay, so engine is what? Engine is the heart of the car, and we have seen in engine there are four. In the cylinder there are four strokes. Out of that, when the power stroke is generating, then that power is converted into the motion. Okay, and then that motion is used to run the vehicle. Okay, then next is what? Next we have the cylinder. Okay, on that particular sheet, you will see the cylinder. Okay, now what is the different types of the cylinder, or what are the number of the cylinder? Okay, so a cylinder we have seen a cylinder is what? Actually it is a chamber. Okay, here we have what? We have here pistons, and we have cylinder and piston arrangement. Okay, and then it is connected with the crank, and when this crank rotate, we get the motion. So here you see here we have here the now this is what the cylinder, maybe it is 4-cylinder engine or 6-cylinder engine, something like this. Okay, so more cylinders are there, so we'll get the more power stroke. Okay, that means the power of that engine is more when cylinders are more. Okay, because see, when one cylinder is there, so in one cylinder it produces one power stroke. One cylinder it produces what? One power stroke. Okay, in one cylinder we'll get 4 strokes. Okay, so if you see this cylinder, refer this cylinder, see this one. So if this is a cylinder, if this is our cylinder, then it is we are getting here 4 strokes: suction, compression, power, exhaust. So we'll get power stroke here, one power stroke for one cylinder. Here we'll get another the power stroke. Okay, here we will get another power stroke, and here we'll get another power stroke. So that means if we have 4 cylinders, then we'll get 4 power stroke here. Okay, that means these four. That means here the four power strokes we get, and because of that four power stroke, we get here the more power. Okay, so here you see these are the four cylinders, and this is rotating our crank. Okay, so at the bottom we have this crank. So this is crank is rotating. See, this is crank, and then this is connected with our wheel. Okay, so here these are the strokes, suction, compression, power, and exhaust is occurring here, and because of the power stroke, this crankshaft is rotating. This shaft is rotating, and this shaft is connected then with the wheel, and we'll get the power. So that's why the cylinder is another more important, the most important that is the specification. So in when you refer this booklet here, you will see a cylinder. Cylinder, they will mention the type of cylinder or the number of cylinder, 4 cylinder, 6 cylinder, something like this. Okay. So more cylinder means what? More cylinder means more power. Okay. Then we have then the displacement. Okay. Now what is this displacement? So suppose many times you have seen when we purchase the two-wheeler, so there it is written Pulsar 125, or when you purchase the when you go for purchasing the Bullet, they mention there 250. Okay, 250 cc, or it is a 350 cc. Okay, so such type of the such type of things are given on the Bullet, 250 cc or 350 cc. Now, what is mean by this 250 cc and 350 cc, or in Pulsar this 125 cc? So 125, that is what, that is the volume of the engine cylinder. So this is our the cylinder, and this is our cc. The volume of the cylinder is measured in centimeter cube. Okay, this is measured in centimeter cube. So this is measured in centimeter cube. So 125 cc means what? It is 125 centimeter cube. Okay, so that means that much volume is available in the cylinder. Okay, and because of that there is a displacement of the piston. That means the piston is moving in this volume, or how much the air plus fuel mixture it is enter inside the cylinder. Okay, so that is cc there. Okay, now if the 125 cc is there, so that much the air fuel mixture will cover that much volume. If 250 cc is there, so the volume of the cylinder will be here the size of the cylinder will be more for 250 cc as compared to 125. So this become then bulky. Okay, the engine will be bulky in 250 cc. It is more bulky in 350 cc. Okay, so that's why you see this Bullet of 350 cc. It is heavy. It is heavier than our Pulsar, Bajaj Pulsar, which is of only 125 cc. Okay, so this cc means what? It denotes what? The size of the cylinder. Okay, so it is measured in terms of what? The cubic centimeter, or sometimes it is also measured in terms of liter also. Okay, so many times we will see that in terms of cc only. Okay, so 125 cc, 250 cc, 350 cc. So whenever now you see you see any Bajaj Pulsar or any Bullet, so and if anyone asks you what is meant by this cc, so this cc means what? It is the volume of the engine cylinder. Okay, so whatever that engine is available here in our two-wheeler, so this cc represents what? It is a centimeter cube. That is the volume of the cylinder. Okay, then we have transmission system next. Okay, so what is meant by this transmission system? Now transmission system, now if you have seen the recent modern cars, so we generally use the gears system. Okay, we use the gears, that is manual transmission system. We put the gears. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then 5, and then reverse. We have 5 gears, and then we have reverse. Okay, so this is manual system. We put the gears manually. Okay, but now if you see now the modern cars, now we have the automatic transmission system. Now this is the automatic transmission system. Okay, now what is automatic transmission system? That means we don't require gears now. We can just operate it on just we are accelerating the pedal, and then we are the car is moving. Okay, just similar to what we are riding the bikes. Okay, जसं आपण ऍक्टिवा वगैरे जसं चालवतो, we are just accelerating the bike, and it is going. Similar type of that one, that is also in the car. This is automatic. We don't require gears here. Okay, so here this is now the transmission is in the form of what? They will mention their manual transmission. Manual transmission means what? You have to use the gear system. Okay, that is our manual transmission. Then we have the that okay, 1 minute. Okay, so we are operating it auto. There is another thing, that is a automatic transmission. That means it picks the gears automatically. Okay, it picks the gears automatically. Okay, so such type of the concept is not there. Okay, now 5-speed transmission means what? 5-speed transmission. It is mentioned there. So 5-speed transmission, it is having what? 5 gears. It is having the 5 gears, and that you have to choose while riding. So transmission systems, they will mention manual transmission system and the automatic transmission system. In manual transmission, you have to we have to put the gears, while in automatic transmission, the gear that get automatically get pick up as the speed increases. Okay, so that is our automatic transmission systems. Okay, so in modern cars, you will get both types of these system, that is the automatic and the manual transmission system. Okay, so this is regarding what? This is regarding the transmission system. Okay. Now then you will see what is meant by the horsepower. Okay, power. So this power will be power is mentioned in the on the leaflet, and power is given in terms of the horsepower. Okay. Now why this is called as the horsepower? So we'll see this one. Okay. So horsepower means what? See, these James Watt. Okay, he has developed this unit of the power. Okay. So while and he has also calculated the he has also developed the engine, and he want to measure the power of his engine, but he has not any instrument to measure the power of his engine. So what he has done? So he has calculated or correlated that with the power generated or power used by the horse. Okay, and he has correlated that the power of engine with the power of the horse. That's why he has called that power as a horsepower. Okay, and now the conversion of this horsepower is what? 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Okay, so that is the conversion. In many times on that particular booklet, you will see one PS that is given in the form of the power is given in terms of the PS. So that PS value means what? That is equal to 735.49 watt. Okay, so either power it is given in HP or it is given in the PS form. Okay, and this is on the British unit, so that is the PS, so that is equal to 735.49 watt. Okay, now what this power means, what it indicates? So it indicates the power that engine produces. Okay, it denotes the how much power that is produced by the engine. Okay, or how much work it can do. Okay, so we know that higher the horsepower, the faster the car can ultimately go. So if the horsepower is more, then it will we will get the faster car. So the cars like the Formula 1 cars or the racing car, they are having very high horsepower. Okay, so that's why they runs at very high speed. Okay, so this power indicates the how much that means the power that the engine produces, and the power means what? How much fast our car or particular engine it generate the work. Okay, so that is the power. Then we have the torque. Okay, now what is meant by this torque? Now torque is the ability of the engine to do the work or force and to cause the rotation of the wheels in case of the car or bike. Okay, so again this is the torque is the ability to do the work or force that tend to cause rotation of the wheels in case of the car or bike. Now we know that the torque is measured in terms of the Newton. Okay, now which is usually higher in diesel engines when compared to similarly to the size petrol ones. Okay, so it is higher in diesel engines. The torque is very high in the diesel engines. Now if you know this tractor is having very high torque. We are saying the torque is very high in the tractors. So that's why for doing the heavy work we are using the tractor. While in case of this the Formula 1 car, okay, or our similar car, the torque is less. Okay, so this torque and this is inversely proportional to the speed. Torque is what? Torque is inversely proportional to the speed. That means we know that the tractor its speed is low. Its speed is low, but its torque is very high. Its speed is very low, but its torque is very high. That's why it pulls very heavy load. It takes very heavy load. But for car, when we are using the car, so it doesn't take that much load which is taken by this tractor. Okay, because the torque is very low for the cars. Torque is very low. Okay, so when torque is less, then speed is more. When speed is more, that's why the cars are having the sufficient speed, but its torque is less, while the tractor is having very high torque and its speed is less. Okay, its speed is less. So there is a this is the relation between the torque and the speed. Okay, so that you have to consider. So torque and the speeds are inversely proportional to one another. Okay, so when the torque is very high, speed is less, and if the speed is less, then we have the high torque. Okay, so okay. Okay, so then next comes what, the drivetrain. Okay, so in drivetrain, if you refer, okay, if you refer that particular leaflet, then they will be they will mention here front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive. Now, what is meant by this front wheel drive? That means your car is running on the front wheels. Okay, so engine is mounted here. So this is our particular engine here. Okay, and your car will run on this wheel, so front wheel. So that is called as what? Front wheel drive. Okay, now if your car is running using the force from the rear wheels, okay, these are called as what? The rear wheels. Then it is called as what? It is called as the rear wheel drive. And if all the four wheels are supplying the rotation, then we are calling that as a all wheel drive, or it is 4x4. Okay, so these are called as the all wheel drive. Okay, so all four will transfer the power. In the rear wheel drive, only the backside wheels it supply the power, and the front wheel drive means what? The front wheels it supply the power or the rotation. So these are called as, so drivetrain means what? Drivetrains are based on the classification, that is the which wheels, okay, which wheels are supplying the power. So if front wheels are there, it is, if they are rotating and taking the load, then it is front wheel drive. So what are the example of front wheel drive? Your Maruti Suzuki Alto, Honda City, then Hyundai Verna, etc. So these are front wheel drive. That means these wheels, okay, these front wheels are taking the load, they are supplying the power. Now what is the rear wheel drive? So Toyota Innova, BMW, Mahindra Bolero, then Ford Endure. So these are running on this backside. So this backside wheel, rear wheel drive, they are supplying the power. So that's why the total car is running. Okay, that means total car is running on the because of the rotation of the backside wheel. And here the total car it is running because of the rotation of the front wheels. Okay, so that is the front wheel drive. Okay, then we have the all four wheel drive. Four wheel drive are examples are Tata Hexa, then Mahindra XUV, Mahindra Scorpio, Renault Duster. So these are all the, that means these wheels, and these wheels, both, all the four wheels are providing the power for running the car. That's why we call this as a or all wheel drive. All wheel drive means, or all the that means four wheels, they are supplying the powers to run the vehicle, or to keep the vehicle in the motion. Okay, so we generally the army vehicles. Okay, we know that the army vehicles are used. They are all wheel drive, because they are used in various conditions. That means they are used in the mud. Okay, then they are used in the sand. Okay, in Rajasthan and other things. So they require very high power. That's why they are using, they are made up of what? The all wheel drive. That means all the four wheels, they are supplying the power. Okay, so when drivetrain means what? Drivetrain means the front wheel drive, rear wheel drive. Rear means on the backside wheel, and all wheel drive means all the four wheels are supplying the power. Okay, so that is the meaning of the drivetrain. Then we have suspension system. So we have to check this one also in our booklet. So what is suspension? You know that. What is suspension means what? The systems of springs and shock absorber that connect to the vehicle to its wheel. Okay, and what purpose the suspension is used? To reduce the shock of the bumps and potholes and contribute to the way your car handles and behaves on the road. So we have the potholes. That potholes means what? The रस्त्यामध्ये जे आपलं हे गड्डे पडले असतात त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण? We calling that as the potholes. Okay, and these bumps means what? These are the speed breakers. So these are our speed breakers. So we call this as the bumps. So these are the and our wheels are rotating or moving on these bumps and the potholes, and then we may get the shocks, and these shocks get absorbed by means of what? The suspension system. And suspension system, it consists of what? It consists of spring and shock absorber. And because of that, we will get very less jerk or the vibration when we are sitting in the car. Okay. So suspension system also we have to check which type of suspension system is mentioned or is there in our particular car we are purchasing. Okay. And the main function of the suspension system is what? To reduce the shocks of the bumps and the potholes. Okay. And to provide the comfort to the passenger. Then we have fuel tank capacity we have to check. Okay. So fuel tank capacity, when we put the petrol inside our two-wheeler, or when we put the petrols in our four-wheeler, so there is one indicator. Okay, so we can check the fuel capacity. So that fuel capacity is mentioned on our specification chart. So that we have to check. So total amount of fuel your car or bike can store. So that is called our fuel tank capacity. Okay, so which usually include the volume of the reserve. It includes both reserve and measured in liters. Okay, is the fuel tank capacity of vehicle. That means fuel tank capacity is given. Suppose if it is 10, suppose it is 10 liter. So it include reserve also. Reserve means what? 10, and reserve is suppose 2 liter. Oh, sorry, this is 8 plus 2 liter. That means 8 is regular and 2 is reserve. Reserve means what? You can use up to before filling it into the total complete volume. ओके, आपण गाडी रिझर्व्हर लावतो म्हणजे काय करतो आपण की ते आपल्याला इंडिकेट करतं की यू हॅव फिल द टोटल 10 बट यू हॅव यूज द 8 liter. नाउ 2 liter इज ओनली रिमेनिंग. Okay, so that 2 liter we call that as a reserve capacity. Okay, so that 2 liters of petrols are remaining. So you have to fill now the petrol in your car or bike, and then afterward this reserve is so we are using then our regular petrol capacity, that is 8 liter. Okay, so fuel tank capacity means what? It is measured in terms of volume. It is given in terms of the volume of the tank. Okay, and we fill that particular tank with the capacity. Okay, the fuel tank capacity. Okay, so fuel tank capacity is also mentioned on the specification chart. Then we have the wheelbase. Now what is meant by this wheelbase? Now wheelbase means what? You see here, now this is the distance between the front, so this is our front wheel or front axle. Okay, that is called the front axle, and the front and the rear axle. So this is front. Okay, axle means here this rod is there, that is called the axle, and rear axle. So this is our rear axle. Okay, this is rear and this is front. The distance between the center of these two wheels, so that is called as the wheelbase. Okay, that is called as the wheelbase. Okay, now you have seen in the movies the long cars are given. Okay, long cars are shown in the movies. So they are having what? The wheelbase. Now from center to center, this is having very long wheelbase. Now what is the use of this the wheelbase? So if the wheelbase is longer, then larger the cabin of the car can be. So here you will get more space here in between these two wheels. So you will get larger cabin size. Okay, so therefore leading to the more interior room. So here you will get more space here. If this space, that is wheelbase, is more, then you will get here more space. Okay, so this is measured in terms of what? Millimeters. Wheelbase is measured in terms of the millimeter. Now there are another dimensions measured on our specification chart, that is our length of the car. Now length of the car means what? It is from this first point, front end, up to the last end. So that becomes our length of the car, that is mentioned on our specification chart. Then this is our height of the car, that is from the base ground up to the height of the total, that is the extreme point of the car, that is the topmost point of the car, that is our height. And then this is the width of the car. Okay, so length, width and height is mentioned in our specification chart. At the same time, you have to check what is meant by the wheelbase. So wheelbase is what? It is the distance between the front axle and the rear axle. Okay, the rod connecting the centers of the wheel. So this is the center of the wheel. This is the center of the wheel, front and rear. So the distance between these two, it is called as the wheelbase. And why it is important? If wheelbase is more, then the wheelbase is more, then larger the cabin size. Now you see this one. Now that Tata car, that one nano car is there. Now nano car is, now this is very small car. So we have very small wheelbase for that nano car. We have very small base for that nano car. While if you take this BMW 7 Series, so now we'll get here more wheelbase. Now in nano car, we'll get small space. We'll get very small space in the nano car. Okay. While we'll get more space in this type of the car when wheelbase is more. Okay. So we have to check what is the wheelbase of the car. That is given in our specification chart. Okay. Then we have the next one is the track width. Now what is the track width? Now it is the distance between from the tire center to the next tire center. So from here, this is tire center up to this tire center. This is called as what? This is called as the track width. Measured width of the car. Okay, that is the width of the car. So this is called the track width. Now what is the application of this? Why to check this track width? Now if this track width is wider, then more stable and better around the corners of the car. Okay, so then the car become more stable and better around the corners. Okay, so that is the use of this track width. So the track width is usually denoted in millimeters. So that is given in millimeters on our specification chart. Okay, so this is given in millimeters. Now if this is more, if track width is more, then our car is more stable and better around the corners. Okay, it is around the corner. So when we take the corner, so that means when we take the corners, that means turn. So at that case, this is very suitable, or it is very useful for our car. So you have to check what is the track width of our car, that is in the specification chart. Then turning radius. Okay, turning radius. Now what is the turning radius? Now this is the smallest diameter or the semicircle that is required to be made by the car in order to make a complete turn. Now when you take the turn, so in smallest semicircle, your car must get turn, okay, around the corner. Okay, so that called as the turning radius. That is called as the turning radius. Okay, so it is defined as the smallest diameter semicircle. So this is our smallest diameter semicircle that is required to be made by the car in order to take a complete turn. So the car should not take the more diameter. So it take in a shortest diameter, in a smallest diameter, it should take turn while taking the turn. Okay, so that is given here. Okay, so that is called as what? That is called as the turning radius. We call that as a turning radius. Okay. Then we have the nerve height. So that is mentioned on the specification chart. What is this nerve height? Now this is the weight of your car without the passenger. So passengers are not there in the car. Only your car is there. And if you measure the total weight of this car, so then that weight of the car is called as what? The nerve weight. Okay. So we generally don't concentrate on this one. So what is this nerve? The curve height. So the curve height is what? The curve height is what? It is the weight. It is the weight of your car without any passenger and luggage. So we are not considering the passenger and luggage. We are considering only the car with its components. Okay, and nominal level of the fuel. So that is there. So that is called as the curve height. Okay, so that is called as the curve weight. Okay. Now what is meant by the boot space? Okay, we care about this one, boot space. Okay, generally we open the dicky. Okay, we call it as a dicky. So this is our boot space. So boot space means what? Boot space means what? It defines the luggage storage capacity in the boot of the car. So we generally check this one. Okay, तो आपल्याला गाडीची डिक्की ओपन करून दाखवतो, and we'll check this one because generally while traveling we require more boot space to store the luggage. So this is very important thing, that is specification, that is the boot space. So we check this one while purchasing the car. So that is called as the boot space. Okay. So whatever the space which is available here on the back side, so we call that as the boot space. Okay. And it is measured in terms of what? Liters. These are measured in terms of liter. Okay. So this is the boot space, is measured in terms of the liter. Now next one, this is called the ground clearance. We also check the ground clearance of the ground clearance also. Otherwise काय होतं की जेव्हा हे आपण कार रन करताना खाली जे स्पीड ब्रेकर असतो त्या स्पीड ब्रेकरला आपली गाडी लागते खाली. ओके, सो वी ऑलवेज चेक दी ग्राउंड क्लिअरन्स. ग्राउंड क्लिअरन्स मीन्स व्हॉट? डिस्टन्स बिटवीन द लोएस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ द कार बॉडी. So this is the lowest point of the car body. Okay, so this is the lowest point of the car body. Then Okay, so this is the lowest point of the car body and the ground surface. So this is the ground surface. So this is the distance between the two things. So here this is the bottom part of the vehicle and the ground surface. So this is what this is called the ground clearance. Okay, generally in army cars, the army vehicles, they are having very high ground clearance. Okay, Mahindra vehicles, they are having very high ground clearance. Okay, regular cars, they are having very low ground clearance, but Mahindra Bolero, okay, then Scorpio, so such types of vehicles are having very high ground clearance. Now the next one is what? The tire size. Okay, so tire size also we have to check. Now the tire size, it is given in the format. If you check the specification chart, they will given in the form of 195/55 R16. Now what is this 195? So 195, it denotes the it denotes the width of the tire. 195 denotes the tire width. 55 denotes the aspect ratio. Okay, and this 16, 55. Okay, this 16 denotes what? It denotes the rim diameter. Okay, so rim diameter. Okay, so R is for what? This denotes what? The R16 means the steel alloy rim has a diameter of 15 inches. Okay, so this is for rim. R is for the rim. So 195 denotes tire width, 55 denotes the aspect ratio, and this 16 denotes the diameter in inches. Okay, diameter of the 15 inches. Okay, actually diameter of the 16 here. Actually, here it is 16. Okay, so this type of the things are mentioned in our specification chart. So 195 slash here 55, then R and 16. Okay, so this is the diameter. Okay, this is the aspect ratio, and this is the width of the tire. Okay, so you have to suppose if someone asks you what is the meaning of this 195, so you must be in a position to tell. Or in MCQ question, they will mention 195/55 R16. What is the meaning of 195? What is the meaning of 55? What is the meaning of 16? So they will ask in the MCQ question. So you have to be very careful about this one. So 195, it is tire width in mm. 55 is our aspect ratio. Okay, that is given in percentage. Okay, and then 16 is the rim diameter. Okay, so that is this here. This is the rim diameter. This is your 55 is the aspect ratio. This one, and 195 is the width of the tire. So this is width. This is aspect ratio, and this is the rim. See, this is the rim here inside. So this is 16 inches. Okay. Then next very important specification is what? Brakes. Which types of brakes are there in our car we are purchasing? So the brakes are generally in the form of drum and disc. Okay, drum and disc type. Okay, so these are available. Drum disc means what? That is the drum is there which get expand. When you press the brake, so this drum get expand and they stop the vehicle. Okay, they stop the rim of the vehicle, and the brakes are applied. This type of brakes you have seen in Bajaj Pulsar, or if you look, that means in cars also, on the front wheel, these disc brakes are attached. So the disc is there. So this is our rotating wheel, and we have some disc. When you press the brakes, so this brakes. Okay, this rim get this come closer to the wheel, and they stop the rotation of the wheel. Okay, so we call this as a disc brake. So the disc is mounted, and this is having some holes, and we have that friction plates. So that friction plates come closer to the wheel, and they stop the vehicle. So there are two types of the brakes. One is called the drum brake and the disc brake. Okay. So now whenever you see any car, just check which type of brakes are available there. It is in the form of the disc brake and the drum brake. Okay. Okay. So now we have seen all the specification starting from the one. That is, we have seen engine, cylinder, then displacement, transmission system, power, torque. Okay. So all these things we have seen. Now let us check the specification. Now suppose if you are purchasing the two-wheeler, suppose you are going to purchase the Activa or any other two-wheeler bike. Now let us see what is given. See here, it is length, width, and height is given. Okay. Then wheelbase is given. Okay. Ground clearance is mentioned. Okay. Now seat length, nerve weight. We have seen nerve weight. What is nerve weight? The total weight of this bike total weight of this bike, okay, without the passenger, without, that is the nerve weight, that is the nerve weight. We have seen here nerve weight. So nerve weight is what? It is the weight of the cart without the passenger. Okay. So this is there. See, it is mentioned in our specification. Okay. Fuel tank capacity we have seen. It is given in liter. Okay. So fuel tank capacity also we have seen here. Okay. So this is the fuel tank capacity. Okay. So that will give you this one. So that is given in liters. 5.3 liters means what? 5.3 liters means it also include the reserve. 5.3 liters means it also include the reserve capacity. Okay. Then tire size, see here, this is given 90 by 90, 12, 54G. Okay, tire size. Okay, so that is, now tire type is given tubeless. Now tubeless tires are available. Now if you see here, see brake type is drum brake. So they are using drum brake here in this this Honda Activa. We have drum brake. Okay, in case of the Pulsar, if you see the Pulsar on the front wheel, you have disc brake. Okay, disc brakes are there. In cars also, we have the disc brake on the front wheels. Okay, then clutch is there, clutch type. Okay, this is there. Then displacement we have seen. Okay, then power, then torque. Now bore and stroke. Bore and stroke means what? Cylinder, we have cylinder. Then diameter of the cylinder is called as the bore. Diameter of the cylinder is called as bore, and the distance through which the piston moves upward and downward from bottom dead center to the top dead center. Movement of the piston, that is called as the stroke. Okay, so that is the bore and the stroke. Okay, then fuel system is there, compression ratio. Okay, this is there. Then okay, then other things are very common. So that is given. So see from this from specification chart, now you are able to identify most of the things. Okay, so that is the that is our specification. Now in three-wheeler, suppose we are purchasing the Piaggio ape here. So here also see the engine type. So this is single cylinder only. We have seen cylinders type. Displacement is given. Displacement. Then power is given. Torque is given. Clutch. Okay. So this is given. Then we have brakes are given. Here also drum brakes are used. Then suspension. We have seen what is the suspension means. It is front suspension and the rear suspension. So here this is front suspension and this is rear suspension. Okay, so which type of suspensions are given? So it uses the springs and shock absorber. Okay, wheel type. So here this is also tire size is given. So here this is again 4.50. There is another specification. Okay, so see from here also you can identify the various types of the specification. Now if you are purchasing the car, so I have taken here the example of Hyundai Santro Zing. So here you see length, width and height of the car is given. Then wheelbase is given. Then this track is given. Nerve weight is given. Clearance is given. Turning radius we have seen, it is given. Sitting capacity, okay, it is 5. Boot capacity we have seen. Boot capacity means what? That is the luggage capacity. Then fuel tank capacity we have seen, that is there. Now in engine we have seen which type of engine is there. It is a petrol engine. Then displacement is given. How many cylinders are given. Okay. Then bore and stroke. Okay, we have seen bore. Bore means the diameter of the cylinder, and stroke means what? How much distance this piston is covering from bottom dead center to the top dead center. So that is called as the stroke. Power is given. Torque is given. Okay. Then drivetrain we have seen. It is in drivetrain we have seen there are 3 types of drivetrain: front wheel drive, then rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive. All wheel drive. So here this is which drive? FWD. FWD means what? It is front wheel drive. That means this front wheel will provide the power to all the wheels. So FWD means what? It is front wheel drive. So your Santro, most of the cars they are front wheel drive. Okay, most of the cars they are front wheel drive. Okay, so this is there. Transmission system. Transmission we have seen this is 5-speed manual. 5-speed. That means 5 gears are there. Okay, 5 gears are there and 1 reverse. Okay. So that is and manual is there. So you have to manually change the gears. Yeah, okay, automatic gears are not available in Santro Zing. Okay, then suspension system. Okay, so that is given here. Okay, and fuel efficiency, that is given here. Okay, see now if you refer any specification now, if you are purchasing any car and if you are seeing any specification, so see all the things are mentioned here, and you have to see which type of the specification, what the specification means. Okay, so that you have to identify. Now, if you are going for the trucks, okay, that is that is bigger vehicles. So here engine, okay, power, fuel tank capacity, these are mentioned. And if you are going for the bus directly, so then here again, here this is 6-speed automatic, rear axle, brakes are mentioned, steering system is mentioned, suspension, fuel system is mentioned, and the tire size is mentioned. Okay, so this type of the things are mentioned in the in the specifications of particular while purchasing any car. Okay, so I hope you understand all these things, and whenever you go for any or whenever you visit any showroom now, so just take the specification chart from that particular person and see what is mentioned in in that particular specification chart, and then correlate with what we are learned here. Okay, so all these things you must remember all these things. This all the 17 parameters they will ask in the MCQ questions. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Okay, so front wheel drive, rear wheel drive means what, all wheel drive means what, so that you have to concentrate. Okay, so everything is there. Okay, so for today's lecture we'll stop here. If you have any questions regarding the specification, so you can ask me. Otherwise we will stop here then. Okay, so any questions you can, if you have any questions regarding today's this lecture, you can ask me.